Just a few boneheaded, walking, talking Neanderthals.
We're live! Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Gavin Talk About Nothing. Gavin, do you have nothing to say?
No.
Sorry, wrong show.
Oh.
What's up, dude?
That's the other show we do at night.
Yeah, that's the one we do sometimes.
That's aired on public access TV.
Mm-hmm. BBC.
There may be a lot of
PBS.
BBC.
British Broadcast BBS. British Broadcasting System.
No, it's BBC.
It is the BBC.
Yeah, it's just funny because it's on the big black cock.
Yeah, that's what I was trying not to have it say.
I mean, that'd be weird for a show of ours to be called or to be on the BBC. But,
especially because we're both very white.
I mean, I have a big black cock, but I'm in the British Broadcasting.
That's probably not normal. Oh.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm mixed, but just on my.
It sounds like frostbite.
It's gangrene.
Did it do that while you were skiing by chance? Did it just turn out that way one day?
The swelling is going in.
My dick's black now. It fell off.
People are familiar with swamp ass. I have the very rare swamp dick.
Oh. That sounds awful.
Well,
swamp dick.
This is a great way to start off podcast. We haven't done one of these in a hot second.
When is that? Yeah, I was thinking about this like a couple of days ago. Like, it's been a while.
I mean, it's probably not probably. It's definitely more my fault than anyone's, just because I'm not near my computer.
It's true.
Hardly at all lately. So I've been spending a lot of time in San Antonio with Jackie.
Yeah. To be fair as well, though, like, I haven't really been on my computer much either, just because. Like, this week I've been on it quite a bit, but past few weeks before that, I've just been squirrel hunting and trying to catch catfish, which is apparently a lot harder than I thought it would be.
With nets or what?
With like bank lines. So I tie my rope to a tree, and there's a hook at the end of the rope, and
yeah.
Usually I've only caught 2 catfish, and usually I think it's turtles stealing my bait.
You caught a turtle yet?
I have not caught a turtle yet. But
What's
I don't think they're easy to catch, so.
What's the regulations on catfish?
There's no size limit. I think, if I remember right, they are considered a game species, but you can still, limb line, trout line, eat, etc. If you have more than 3 hooks in the water, you need to have them labeled with your conservation number or your name and address. I have my conservation number and my name on there. My mic is making funny noises.
Huh.
There it goes.
So what'd you do with the 2 catfish you caught?
They are sitting in my freezer right now.
So you haven't tried to make them yet?
Nope, not yet. But I always thought that, like, cleaning a catfish, you did it differently than a normal fish, but it's the same thing. You just fillet them out.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I was under the same impression you were. Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I've always thought you're supposed to, like, skin them, like, rip the skin off. But I looked it up on YouTube, and I think you can do that. You can skin them, but most people fillet them.
So you have the whole fish in the freezer right now? You haven't filleted them out yet?
Oh, no, I filleted them.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
You got pictures of this?
The fillets or the fish?
I mean, either.
If you go to TikToks for Caleb. Oh, no. TikToks for he that shall not be named.
You renamed it? That's fine.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So that's a flathead catfish that I caught right there.
Let's see. Middle picture.
It's the very center picture.
That's a pretty decent fish.
It's okay. So I let that one sit overnight, and out of my 7 lines that I made, that was the only one that had a fish on it. Everything else was empty. And then I caught another catfish, and I was setting lines, and when I finished setting lines, I turned around and I look at the line that I'd set, and it was going bloom, bloom, bloom. I mean, within 5 minutes, I had a catfish on there. I was like, this is going to be a great spot to do it. Have not caught a fish there since.
They caught on. The catfisher.
Yeah,
Wiser than we thought.
sneaky boys. But
Man, you got a collection of pictures here. Okay, so first one we got a squirrel that, well, I don't know, is that...
So this is a gray squirrel. I was actually very proud of this shot. I was, creeping through. You got to creep. You remember how we weighed fish for redfish?
Yeah.
I mean, just slow, not making any sound. That's how you squirrel hunt too. I equate squirrel hunting to red fishing. Okay, so I'm creeping through the woods, and I see a squirrel jump up on a limb and kind of run across. Get my 22, no scope at this time, and he's kind of far, and it's kind of hazy. And I see him drop down. I literally sprint over there, and he's flopping on the ground. And I shot him like from behind the armpit out the throat.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get
so
it.
I got him pretty good. But that's a gray squirrel. They're actually pretty small. Fox squirrels are much better to shoot, but there's not as many of them. Makes sense, I think.
So I'm guessing, is the second picture...
So those are squirrel wings.
Gotcha.
They're pretty good, dude.
They
Those are
don't look
smoked with some Cajun seasoning, and that's the hot sauce right next to them. It's just Frank's wing sauce and then some vinegar in there.
That sounds good. It looks good.
It's really good, dude.
You got to worry about like parasites and stuff in squirrels, or
Not that I've been informed of. I do. Well, for a while I was checking, their innards to make sure they look normal, but I never ran across any weird looking ones. So,
awesome.
So yeah, squirrel, very good, very
Looks
good.
pretty damn good.
There's not a ton of meat on them, but I mean, a red squirrel is about the size, like their back leg is about the size of a wing you'd get from, or a leg you get from like Wingstop. You know how their wings are kind of like smaller.
Yeah.
It's not the hormonal growth chickens you get.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so red squirrels, very good. Gray squirrels, I can't taste the difference between them. I've heard that gray squirrels are a little more, just not as good, but I can't tell the difference other than size.
Yeah, I would expect you'd have to be a seasoned squirrel eater to be able to tell the...
Yeah. I finally put a scope on my 22, so that's a picture of me below the dead squirrel, smoking my pipe and being a
waiting for
weirdo.
more squirrels.
Yeah. Very photogenic.
I'm surprised it didn't come with a scope on it.
I mean, it's just like the cheapest 22 you can buy.
Well, is that like a Ruger? Or
Savage.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep, but I mean, cheapest you can buy, but it works as good as I need it to. I've never had any problems out of it. And
yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about Savage. I got a 308 from them. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yep.
I like them a lot so far, and I've had that 22 for a couple of years now. So.
Nice.
So with the catfishing, back to the catfishing. At first I was putting chicken liver on the hooks, right?
Okay.
And all my hooks, bait gone. So I decided to build a fish trap, which is the second row far right.
Yeah.
So I built that out of wire, caught fish in it, put fish on hooks. All hooks were cleaned off anyways.
Well, shit.
So my theory now is the fish that I put on there weren't really big enough to swim around with the hook. So they just got eaten by turtles anyways. So now I need to catch bigger fish. Put them on the hook. Hopefully then I get catfish. Been fly fishing.
Yeah, did you make this fly? Is that a picture of a fly you made?
The one on the cup, yeah, I made that fly. And I don't have like actual fly tying stuff.
Yeah.
But I got thread, feathers, and some squirrel hair and super glue and a hook, obviously. And I caught a fish on it. That fish in the next picture, you can see the fly and the bluegill.
Mm-hmm.
I caught that bluegill. I thought that
I'm
was
impressed. Cool. I'm impressed with myself that I knew what that was. But also, I'm very impressed with this fly fishing. Like, that's not a easy. Like you just don't pick up fly fishing and you're catching fish regularly. You know.
I'll tell you what, I catch them pretty regularly. Nothing big, but I think that just kind of comes with the turf. And then
Awesome, man.
top
That's
right
really cool.
picture is about the average size of any bass I catch. And I really like this fly here. It's like a topwater frog. Very swag.
Where'd you get that?
Just on Amazon.
Right on, man. Catching fish with a fly rod.
It's
I mean,
pretty cool.
I'm not a bass fisherman,
Oh,
but I gotta
dude.
say, doing it with a fly is pretty.
I've hooked up on a gar twice with it.
What happened?
I mean, gar just impossible to really hook, So they come off pretty quickly, but still.
Because they ain't got real lips.
Right. I think their mouths are just really hard, So it's probably hard for that hook to embed itself in. And then the bottom right picture is Isabella with food all over her.
Oh, pretty baby.
She's
Look at the cute baby. She's
a
definitely.
cutie.
I mean, I don't know if it's too early to tell, but she looks like she's gonna be a blondie, don't she?
I was blonde like that when I was her age too. Now I don't have any hair.
Well, hopefully that's not the case. I mean, maybe more like your mama.
Yeah, it could be.
What's going on in the background? Somebody growing some weed?
Oh no, those are just herbs. We got herbs and some whiskey and turkey feathers, and if you look, there's an arrow on that window seal, and that's the arrow that I shot that buck through the guts with and never found the buck.
You keep it up there as a reminder.
I truly do.
Never to repeat mistakes. Yeah, it's a real hunter's house, it appears. So you guys got like a garden stuff now in the backyard?
No garden. Just herbs in the front. I mean, we got chickens in the back. Ooh, I'll see if I can find a picture of my chickens. We got chickens.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's up? What's been up with the chickens? How's this been going?
Well, we've got, we bought 3 originally. One of them got by Lucy. We got another one. She was beautiful. She got by Lucy also. So
what?
We have 2 chickens. I'm trying to get. Listen, I don't want to talk about it.
She got a shock collar on her. Like what? Like
no.
I wouldn't even let her get near the chicken coop.
I don't.
Shock.
Just every once in a while, the door gets left open, and she goes down to the basement to the dog door, and I haven't replaced the door. Just
the dog door.
Yeah.
Beginning to think an argument was behind.
No arguments. It's strictly my fault and my idiocy.
So she's a chicken getter now, huh?
She gets chickens.
Isn't there like a classic saying, like once a dog gets chickens, it just gets chickens? Like it's never gonna change.
I don't expect her to change.
So she killed your Gucci chicken, the one that you paid, what'd you say, $15 for?
I mean, it wasn't like a special chicken or anything. It was just a pretty looking chicken.
So you got 2 chickens.
So I got 2 chickens.
How many eggs are you getting from them?
Usually, I get about an egg and a half a day.
Oh wow, I feel like it's
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not bad for just 2 chickens out.
Yeah.
Plus, so you got like a whole coop in your backyard, or you just got like an area for them to walk around?
No, so I got so that's my quote unquote bougie chicken. She's dead, buried in the backyard.
You buried her in the backyard?
Oh yeah. per Sarah's request.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are my
other about
3
Lucy
chickens. It was a concern, but they didn't. So, those were the other 3. There's only 2 left now. So, one of those in that picture got.
But the other chickens are doing fine.
They're doing really well.
You're not having problems with like predators or nothing?
Nope, not yet. So they have. I don't think I ever took a picture of the coop, but I built a little coop for them, and they only stay in there at night. And they lay their eggs in there, and then during the day I open it up, and they just hang out in the backyard. And no problems with predators yet. I do see cats like go past my backyard every once in a while and kind of stare in, but I take a little CO2 pistol that I have and I shoot them.
You shoot the cats?
Yes.
Are these like wild cats?
I mean, I'm sure somebody owns them, but
or feral.
Yeah, they're pretty feral.
I got you.
So, like if I was allowed to shoot them with a 22, I would. That's not true. I would make them enter my yard first, and then game over.
Because they're on your property.
They're now on my property, and they're a danger to my chickens, so they would die. But they haven't done that yet, so.
Got you.
Yep. So yeah, that's what's up.
Awesome, man.
It's kind of a good little rundown of what I've been doing so far.
So you like renting this place you're at right now, right?
Yes.
So he's cool, like with or she. I just assumed it was he, but they're cool with you having like chickens and stuff. Do you have to ask permission, or do you just do it?
I asked him if we could get 3 chickens, and he said as long as there's no roosters. So. No roosters.
Well, because then you could have more chickens. Or why no roosters?
Because they're loud.
Yeah. Okay. Does he live in the other one?
No, he lives somewhere close-ish, but not right next door or anything.
Gotcha.
There's the other catfish I caught. This is a blue cat, channel cat. I can't remember.
That'll eat.
Oh yeah, they'll eat for sure.
Are you gonna do like? I mean, the only thing I know to do with catfish is fried catfish. So, other stuff you're gonna do.
I plan not to fry them. I mean, because frying fish is just work, and like a process. So I want to cook them just like you'd cook regular fish. You know, just in a pan, some butter, seasoning. But we'll see. I'm gonna do one, make sure it doesn't like taste muddy, and then I'll do the rest of them if that's good. Because I've heard catfish taste muddy or can taste muddy. So
I just figured they always fried it because it was not, it had some kind of funk to it. I couldn't describe to you exactly what I mean. Muddy, I guess is what you're saying. But
a lot of people say muddy. I've heard if you soak them like in water, like ice water, it pulls the muddiness out. I don't know. They look like good fillets to me though, so I'm gonna try, and we shall see.
Ain't no reason not to experiment. I've been kind of, I wouldn't say experimenting like I'm doing wild stuff, but I've been doing a lot of cooking lately. Especially just with stuff we had in the freezer, trying to get through all the freezer. We have let's see. How do I add pictures to Discord? I open Discord and then I
go to TikToks for he that shall not be named, and then press the little add symbol.
Plus, okay, there we go. Let's see. So I made this earlier this week. Which you can't really tell from this picture, but it's like Philly cheesesteak, and I made this with a roast from the hindquarter of the deer I shot 2 years ago.
Nice.
So I just had roasts basically in the freezer, and I was kind of tired of doing crockpot roasts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was took it out of the freezer while it was frozen. I took a really sharp knife and heated it up a little bit, and then I just cut really thin strips out of the roast
while it was frozen.
Yeah, because I could get it really thin. It was maybe a little thawed because it took me a little time to get all my stuff ready to go.
Sure.
But it was fairly frozen, so I cut really thin strips. And then basically I just made Philly cheesesteaks with it. So I did all the vegetables, took the vegetables out of the pan, then I put the meat in there, and then I put some Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of soy sauce with the meat and a bunch of butter because this has no fat in it, and I kind of wanted the meat to get a little crispy, which worked like a charm. So, and plus the cast iron's really good for that. And then I mixed all the vegetables and the meat together, salt, pepper, covered it with provolone cheese, and I served this to Jackie and her sister, who are still like kind of getting used to eating wild game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, I would have thought this was beef. Like you couldn't tell the difference. Not to say that I don't like gamey stuff. I do, but I like to think of it as like when you make the prep so good that it is like not something that would stick out to somebody not used to eating it. I guess what I'm trying to say is like,
it's just
if you took a bite of this, yes, basically is what I'm trying to say in a really convoluted manner. So, and I ate it and I thought it was one of the best cheesesteaks that I ever had, just in general. So, I definitely am going to do this recipe again with roasts. I think next year or next hunting season, when I shoot a deer, I'm going to process it again on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is from a deer I processed on myself 2 years ago.
And it's not that hard. Like every
No,
deer
it
I
wasn't.
shoot, I
Wasn't that hard?
process, and it's not that like it takes a little bit of time, but it's not hard.
I mean, it'd be better if we had a place to store a deer, so I didn't have to do it nearly right away. Because you could like put the deer, you could quarter the deer and then put those on ice and then butcher that the next day. You know what I mean?
You don't
Um,
quarter it?
no, I'm saying. Oh no, when I did this processing, I did the whole thing that day.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, because I shot that deer in the morning
I still
and
have
then
two
got
legs in
back.
the freezer I haven't done yet. Two front legs. I really need to do those, but it's all
Almost
going
dry
it's all
aging
going
them
to
at this
burger
point.
anyways.
Right. So, well, one of my points was because of how just easy and convenient it is to drop off at the processor,
Yeah.
but you lose a lot of choice in what you want. You know, like they don't have, at least the one we go to regularly doesn't have options for a lot of the stuff I want to keep.
They don't like ask you what cuts that you want.
No, it's basically just steaks, burgers, and then like you can make sausage and
I'm doing a podcast.
all that stuff. Hi, Sarah.
Gavin says hi.
Hey, Gavin.
Um, so no, not. I'm sure if we went to another processor, we'd have more options. But there's still other stuff I want to do, like the shanks, for instance. That's probably like a throwaway almost,
I turn it into burger
or per turn it into burger.
most
Like I
of
want
the
to
time.
keep the shanks, and try to do some shank recipes. I mean, Jackie's mom used the shanks I kept from this deer, and turned it into this fucking delicious slow cooked stew roast thing. It was fucking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, as long as you slow cook them, they're pretty good. I did not slow cook them one time. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah, they're just so
Sinewy.
Yep.
It was.
So that just melts slowly over time.
It was
But-
really bad.
Anyways, so I'm definitely gonna process deer next year. Plus, Jackie was like, I want to be involved in the picking of the cuts and stuff because she wants to.
Yeah, hell,
Cook
you
it
can
all,
shoot
so-
the deer if you want.
No, I told her I was like, you gotta get your hunter.
Oh,
but-
my dad is hunter ed, not like a teacher, instructor, a hunter's ed instructor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Where?
Where? In Texas?
No, I mean, does he teach in Corpus or like?
Oh, I don't think he hasn't put it on any classes yet, but he just got his like certification for it
That's fun. Why'd he do that?
because he
Just
wanted
'cause?
to. Yeah. Feels like he should teach the new generations how to hunt.
Yeah, that's what my grandfather did. I could easily see that happening to us too when we get old. So
Yeah.
awesome. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So
I still remember taking
know.
my hunter ed.
I'm sure he would give her hunter's
Give-
ed.
Give her hunter's ed thing.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to. Truth, she's kind of gun shy. So
Hold
I
on.
don't think she wants to kill an animal either.
I speaking of gun shyness, I've made a lot of mistakes with. Okay, this is about to be a bad sentence. I've made a lot of mistakes with guns and people, and dogs. My one piece of advice for anybody looking to show people guns is start small. Because I started like Sarah off on a 12 gauge, and now she hates shooting,
Yep.
and I don't blame her for that.
I would. I don't blame her neither. That's pretty.
But that's how I started off.
Yeah, shit. I know, but our dads were kind of like, "Here, shoot this gun."
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, you want to
Yes,
go
Dad,
duck
I
hunting? I
will.
was like, yeah, I want to go duck hunting. He's like, okay, we'll go get you a shotgun. I got a 12 gauge, and we went duck hunting.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm like 6 years old. We're going duck hunting. Okay, I don't really know what that means. Sitting in the blind, bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
bam. I was like, all right, I guess it's just life now, you know. So I
Mhm.
kind of want to ease into it.
So yeah, start. Has she?
I think I'm gonna start with a
shot
22.
before?
Not really, no.
All right, yeah, start with a 22.
I mean, we got 22 9 mil.
410 or something. 410. 410s.
Oh.
I feel like 410s are a really good gateway into shotguns,
Yeah,
and they're
I don't think I
you
have
can get one dirt cheap, just like a single barrel. And low key, I kind of love my single barrel 410. I've been dove hunting with it, and it just makes everything like more challenging, but also fun. You know.
Sure, dude. I'm still gonna be blasting away at those bitches with 12 gauge.
Oh, I do too, but it's also fun with the 410. Like when we went to Nebraska, I toted around my 12 gauge like miles and miles and miles. And it's not a light gun. And
That's
then,
yeah, that's not true.
we kind of wrapped it up, and that evening sat at a little water trough, and it was still a couple miles away just to get to that water trough. It was like a little sunflower field with a water trough, windmill, and I brought my 410 out there, and I was so glad that it was so light.
I'm torn with the idea of trying to put a sling on my shotgun. Not like a shoulder sling, like a single point sling.
A single point? Like, it attaches like up front, and you put it only on like on your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I don't know if I'd like that or not, but I'm really getting tired of pulling my shotgun when I'm wading out miles to catch ducks lately. I guess not lately. This past season, I feel like I wounded more ducks than I killed.
it doesn't bother me. I have like a shoulder sling for if I'm going far, but it doesn't really bother me too much. Because I mean,
you got, like,
if you're
Cherokee
waiting,
jeans.
if you're waiting after him, you're probably need to shoot him as well. So
Can I not post videos in the thing?
I think you can.
Like some of my videos aren't showing up for some.
They might take longer to get in.
Well, like, so not in the Discord, like in my previews. I don't know. Oh, okay. There we go. So I posted pictures of Red Snapper, which I already sent you. I just wanted that in the record.
I've got it up on screen right now.
So we got some snapper. Made fish tacos with it. They were fucking delicious.
Gotta love that.
I got my fish taco recipe dialed in for sure.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah, I never. So like, I made fish tacos twice in the past 2 weeks, and from both fish taco recipes were slightly different just because of the ingredients I had on hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to the realization afterwards that if I took certain ingredients from both and then combined these two recipes into one, this would probably be the best fish taco recipe I can make. So I mean, it's not that hard. So I'm just doing black and red snapper in the cast iron, which is easy pretty much. I mean, fresher the better, obviously. And then my mom's Spanish rice recipe, and then coleslaw, whatever coleslaw you want. Usually they're slightly different, but I like a good coleslaw because I did pico the second time. I was like, no, coleslaw is definitely the way to go. And then there's this sauce. I used to put remoulade sauce on. However you say that fucking word.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It's like I don't even know how to say it. It's like a tangy, like mustard based kind of sauce.
Vinegary?
No, not really. I wouldn't say it's vinegary, but Jackie showed me this sauce called bitchin' sauce.
I think I have heard of that.
That stuff is bitchin' for sure. So they had a cilantro lime bitchin' sauce that she got at the store.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told her, like, I want remoulade sauce. Can you pick it up from the grocery store? She said, sure. And then she came home and I was like, where's the remoulade sauce? And she was like, I have no idea what that is, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, she was like, I get this bitchin' sauce instead. And I was kind of like annoyed. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm not having remoulade sauce, like kind of being an asshole.
Yeah.
And then I tried the bitchin' sauce and I was like, in my head, I didn't say this until the next day because I was still pissed, but I was like, this is way better than the remoulade sauce.
That's awesome.
So the bitchin' sauce now is my new go-to. And yeah, corn tortillas I usually like for fish tacos, but flour tortillas are also just as good.
I'm just a flour tortilla kind of guy.
I, in general, like flour tortillas more than corn tortillas, but there's something about like small street taco kind of things that I think corn tortillas are just better.
They're like aesthetically, I think they're better for that kind of stuff, but flavor-wise, I like flour tortillas.
I also never had like a good not charred, but like a crunchy, not like a tostada, but when you like warm up a flour tortilla, how it gets all puffy and nice.
Yeah.
I've never had a corn tortilla like that, but then Jackie did a couple of them, and I was like, oh, this is not a tostada and it's not burnt to hell. Like, this is actually a good warmed up corn tortilla, which I think makes a big difference. What's this picture of?
That's just my chickens
chickens
hanging out in the
around?
backyard right now.
That one's dangerously close to the archery target.
I know, she better move before I get out there. You been shooting?
No, I lost my release.
What?
I cannot find it. I looked for it everywhere last time I was here. I think
Time
it
to get
might
another
be at the ranch.
What kind of release do you have? Is it like a fancy one?
It was $100 thumb release.
Okay, yeah, fancy one. I think mine's like
really
$14 on Amazon. It was given to me for free.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch to thumb release. I'm gonna use this thumb release forever. Let me just get like a not because they sell like $500 ones, and I was.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've looked at them and I was like, I can't justify this when this one that I have just it does the job, and
Do I got a picture of the release? Let's see. I don't think so. I might just have a picture of me.
I'll send you a picture of mine. I read reviews for the one that I have, like on Amazon, and some people were like, it's amazing. Some people were like, it broke before I used it. So I think it's just 50-50 on if you got a good one or not. Which is kind of sketchy.
I wouldn't want that bitch breaking in my draw. Mine had good reviews. I just lost it like a fucking idiot.
So yeah, this is the one that I got.
Oh, that's nice.
What?
That release.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice looking. I like that shape film release.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture of it. I have a picture of me using it though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Looking through my pictures has made me realize how much hunting and fishing is a part of my life because I've got like 10 pictures and then all of a sudden I have 90 during hunting season.
Yeah. I feel that. Man. Almost all of my pictures are Isabella, right? Like right now are Isabella and fish.
Yep.
And squirrels. Yep. A few squirrels in there.
Same. Mine are all Jackie and then food that I'm making and then
yeah. Not.
Oh, you want me to put a picture of her in there?
Yeah.
Should we show us on the podcast? I don't know.
I mean,
this is
so my thumb release on Amazon is $37.99 with 3.5 stars.
Here's us at the bar. $3.99, you said?
$37.99.
Oh, 37. I mean, that's probably a good middle range price.
What a fun young couple.
I don't know about spending $500, but
$500 is a lot of money. You like your boots?
I love my boots. I've been wearing them. I saw one of your pictures you posted up here. You were wearing them, I think.
I wear my boots every day.
Yeah, I like my boots a lot. It's a little hot right now for them because it's like 108 degrees. But like if we go out like this, I'll still, I'll wear them.
Yeah.
Either this or cowboy boots, depending on my jeans.
Who took the picture?
Jackie's sister.
Was she drunk?
Kind of.
It's a kind of a shaky picture.
Yeah, no, she was definitely toasted.
Was she drunk? Oh, a little bit. No, she was toasted.
I don't know if I should say all this. There's no way either of them are ever going to listen to this. So
they might. You never know. Be careful.
Well, her sister literally had just broken up with her boyfriend.
Oh, that's rough.
The day before. And she was like, I want to go out. And we were like, all right, let's go out. So she was
hitting it.
She was, toasted. I mean, I wasn't sober, obviously, in that picture neither. But, yeah, that's Jackie. That's my girlfriend.
Aww. So cute.
But, yeah, man, I'm fucking getting ready to move, basically, is all I've been doing. Hang out with her and getting ready to move. That's pretty much it. I've had a bunch of stuff I had to do for school.
You got your stuff all packed up?
Most of the major stuff. To be honest, I don't have a lot of stuff. I downsized a lot when I moved back. Like, I just accumulated shit when I was living in San Antonio. So I got rid of a bunch of stuff. So I don't have a whole lot. And all my hunting stuff is going to stay here. I'm not trying to. Should be a pretty easy breezy move day.
This was like a super scenic photo, and then Isabella's getting changed on the side of the road when we went to Colorado.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was ignoring that for the views, but
yeah,
If you
I
could just
thought I
play it
just
off
thought
like
it was
she's
really
playing.
funny.
This is kind of funny. Oh man, actually, shit, I can send you something else we've been doing.
Let's
So
see it.
since like I'm moving and we're probably not gonna have a lot of time in the future for doing this, we've been doing a lot of like projects around the house that needed to get done.
Uh huh.
So like working on the roof, all that stuff. But the biggest thing we did was upgrade that concrete pad area on the side of the house. Like I don't know if you remember, but we had that kind of small pergola on that side of the house
Where
where
the ping
like
pong table is?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we completely took that out and we built a whole new giant area. It took us like weeks to build totally.
Wow.
But I'll send a video. I think this video shows everything. But we built a bar area and then a giant pergola that covers most of the pad now.
Very swag.
Jenny and I came down for Father's Day, and I like I made nail guy burgers for Father's Day.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I was cooking under that area, and it was like 20 degrees cooler than everywhere else. It was awesome. So yeah, this is a video after we finished it. I think after we finished it, I can't really tell.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Is that like a granite countertop there?
Yeah, dude, the story behind that is hilarious. I'll tell you that in a second. Okay, so I think this is before we built the rest of this, but I don't even show it. But you can see the top. Like, you see how this pergola covers way more area?
Yeah.
What you can't see in the videos, there's a whole another second one. So it covers like 3/4 of the pad. So it's super nice over there now. Definitely be better for like barbecues and stuff.
Very swag.
But yeah, that granite countertop. So there was a space right between the two posts that we wanted to cover with granite, and it was like 10 feet long or something. So we went to the first granite place we could find. We're like, hey, we blah blah blah. And he's like, no, we're a wholesaler. We only sell to contractors. And we're like, okay, well, where can we go? And they said, go to this place. So we show up at this place, and there's like no one fucking working. There's like no one there. And then some lady comes out eventually, and she's like, what are y'all here for? And we're like, we're just here for a concrete slab. And she's like, you guys want a slab? And we're like, yeah, is this not what this is for? Like, I don't understand. And she's like, all right, just go out back and find a piece you want. So then we go out back, and there's just tons of cut pieces. So basically what I think this place is they take like miscuts, or like a bunch of them had sink cutouts.
It's like scrap.
Basically like a granite
Scrap and
yard.
fuck ups.
So we went in there, and Dad and I are just wandering around this scrapyard. There's nobody there. There's no one working. The lady's like disappeared. I have no idea what's going on. And it's like the ghettoest scrapyard ever. Like there's no like windows, but there's still like giant holes in the in the sides. Like there's just places for people to walk in and steal shit. I don't know. And then there's like cats wandering around.
Where
it was
is
insane.
This?
It was off of Costores.
Huh.
So like, kind of not downtown, but like the ghetto-ish area off of SPID.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just wandering around. We got the tape measure. So we start looking for like pieces that'll fit what we want. And we find like a 6-foot piece. So it's like 4 feet short of what we want, but it's like nice and straight. So we go to pick it up, and we're like, holy shit, this is fucking heavy. This is the most dense material I've ever carried in my fucking life. Not to mention, when you're carrying granite like that, you have to hold it like completely horizontal, because if you hold it straight up like flat, it'll snap under its own weight. So we're like, holy shit, there's no way we can carry a 10-foot section. So we're looking, and then we find the piece in the video, that gray piece. And we're looking at it, we're measuring it, and it's like 6 and change or something. And we're like, wow, this would actually fit outside. Like the color looks good for outside. This would work. And it's not so heavy that we can't carry it. So then about that time, the lady comes out. And before she came out, Dad and I were talking, because we have no idea how much any of this costs.
Right.
Like, I'm under the impression like granite and slate and all that kind of stuff, or marble, like that's all really expensive. And I'm like, maybe we'll get a little bit of discounts because these are, scraps, like cuts and stuff. So we were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know, maybe a few $100s for this piece, maybe.
A few $100s?
Yeah, like $200-$300 is what we figured.
Okay.
Because like something that size, like marble or granite, that you're getting for a countertop would be thousands of dollars.
Right.
So I don't know. We figured like a couple $100, a few $100. I think 300 is what we agreed
I would
we
have
would
guessed like
pay.
200, like 150 to 200 is would it just be my guess, and I don't know anything about granite, so
Right. I mean, we don't know either. We were just like, what we'd be willing to pay for this is somewhere between $200 and $300.
yeah.
Like, if she says too much, we're gonna walk away. So we have no idea. So she walks out, and we're like, "Hey, we're interested in this piece. How much is it?" And she's like, "Let me go check." So she goes out, comes back out, and she goes, "It's $45." And Dad and I are trying not to make a face because we're like, "Holy shit, that's so dirt cheap." And Dad immediately goes, "We'll take it." And she's like, "All right, well, it's this much to have it finished and delivered and all that." And Dad's like, "No, we're just gonna take it right now." She's like, "You're gonna take it with you?" And we're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I guess people don't do this very often," because she was bewildered. And she's like, "Okay, cool. It's $45." So we paid $45. We carried it outside. She was
So
she
is
was like,
it?
"This is
I couldn't tell from the video. Is it like not polished? Is that what she's talking about? Like not
well,
polished,
I
and then they
guess
would
like getting
deliver it?
the edges are like not sharp, but they would smooth them out, I guess." And then there was a lot of you can't see it in the video because Dad did this, but like he had to use like I don't know some kind of acetone mixture and like a razor blade to get all the surface. I don't know. They had some kind of like sealant on there that we had to take.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't exactly know. And she said it was only going to be like another $45 to do all that, but like I was like, I don't even know why we'd pay to do any of that. All we need is a razor blade and acetone, and then we don't care about the edges. This is going outside. So,
Man, I've been. If you do things yourself, you save so much money. So much money.
oh, dude, the
That
reason we did this is because originally, my mama wanted to have like a professional pergola built out there to cover the whole pad,
yeah.
and we got a quote. Can you guess how much the quote was?
1,500.
1,500. No, $30,000.
That's a lot of money.
To have it put together and built, like that's just materials. That's like have the whole thing done, 30
Yeah,
grand.
yeah. That's
And we probably spent like
$30,000 to put up a wooden pergola.
yeah,
That's
pretty much.
insane.
It is insane. And we spent probably like 2 grand in materials on this.
Sure.
And then
I
obviously,
can't. I
we
couldn't
didn't
see
get
how
paid,
big
but-
the pergola was, so I don't really have a good guessing
Well,
point.
I know, true. Like you can't. I don't know if you can imagine the concrete pad back there, but it
Yeah.
covers most of it. It's that like it's edge to edge now. It's not like the old one where it was like half the length
Right.
and a third the width. It's like basically the whole pad.
Huh.
So it's fucking huge. I mean, we used 2 by 10 by 20 footer beams. Like those are 20-foot beams up there.
Whoa.
You had to get a rack for the truck because Dad didn't want to pay for delivery. So we literally had. I don't know if I got a picture of this. Let's see. Because we got I don't even know if you know, but Dad got a new truck.
Nope. Didn't know
Well,
that.
new to us. Like I don't know, a year ago maybe. He's got a
I feel like I
old
should know
F-250.
That's the one I thought he had.
Yeah. Okay. So he bought a rack for this truck just so we could get these beams because it's got 20-foot wide beams, and then this bar area you can kind of see in the video. It's all one beam across. These are 18-foot beams. Or 18-foot joists. The
Oh,
beams
nice.
themselves are 8 foot. I keep saying beams, but these joists are 18 feet, and then the beams for the pergola up top are 20 foot. So they're fucking huge,
Yeah.
but it looks good. So yeah, this is the truck like full of wood. Like that's the truck rack you got.
Very swag.
And we've been talking about like maybe we get some kayaks or some paddle boards, put them up there, go to the
Did I
lighthouse
tell
or
you I
something.
got a paddleboard?
No, you didn't. A paddle like a nice one or like
No.
a blow up one.
Yeah, it was a blow up one. And I fly fish off of it.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Does it work pretty well?
Yeah, and like
Like-
it's very portable, so I don't have to strap it to the top of Sarah's car or whatever when we go down to the pond. So just throw it in the back, blow it up, and sail
Oh, you're not
away.
taking your truck?
Not if I'm taking Sarah and Isabella.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Has she talked to you about, getting a vehicle yourself that has a back seat for the kid? For the kid?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I don't know. It's a pain. I don't want to go through the hassle of selling my truck and all that crap, but
There's a lot of work.
it's a pain.
I mean, why you got a family car? I guess you don't really
No,
need it.
but yeah, I thought about it, but eh.
Meh.
But anyways, so that fish trap up there that
Yeah,
I made that for like $30. You know, online those are like $100 some.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Almost looks like a crab pot.
it's similar.
I'm probably in August. I go get you 5 crab pots. You can turn them into fish traps.
Yeah. They just it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but you see how it kind of juts in the center there, and it's just an
Yeah,
opening.
yeah.
I mean, the fish just swim in there, and they are too dumb to swim out. You just
Right.
pull them on in,
How
and it
often do you
works.
check a trap like that?
You could leave it. I've left it for an hour and had fish in there. I've left it for 3 hours and had more fish in there. You can leave them overnight. I haven't left it overnight yet. Oh, that's not true. I left it at the river, and there was nothing in there after leaving it overnight, which was disappointing. But when I take it to the pond, I leave it in there for a short amount of time and still get fish in there. So
Right on.
I just throw like a slice of bread in there.
Oh, just a slice of bread.
Uh-huh.
And
And that's what the little fishies want. So very swag, very swag. So anyways, yeah, building things yourself,
yeah, much cheaper.
much cheaper. And you learn how to do stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And you learn why you don't want to do that, and you'll pay for someone else to do it later.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I know how to do a bunch of stuff, which is good for a couple reasons. I mean, even if you don't end up doing it yourself, you know, like if you're getting ripped off or not, because you know what's involved. Like,
It's true.
you know, it's like the classic trope of going to a mechanic and they say your equalizer is broken. You're like, I'll pay whatever you say, and you're like,
And you change your blinker fluid.
right, shit like that. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to not have that. But yeah, I agree. Plus, there's something like very fulfilling about doing a project,
Yeah.
having a goal, completing it
Yeah.
for sure. You just feel pride. Like I feel pride when I'm underneath the pergola. Like,
Especially when it turns out good.
right, that's a whole nother factor we didn't even address is the quality.
Yeah. And you can determine that quality for yourself, you know?
Let's see, I think it might be
Like
it.
on that fish trap, I could have just used zip ties to get it all cinched up, but instead I used like these little cage clips that you take a pair of pliers and clip them together. And what do we got?
Yeah, that's just the first one being built. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
one. We built 2 of those. So that's why it was getting that was bar.
Nice.
But yeah, those are 20-foot long beams. It's fucking heavy. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you, man. There's a lot of kids they ain't learning how to do jack shit. So
Poor
let's see a
kids.
ribeye I cooked.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh man, that's making me hungry. Holy cow, that looks good.
Yeah, that was absolutely killer. In the cast iron with
What did you season it with? My mouth's watering. A
just
bit.
salt and pepper. I'm pretty
Mm.
traditional. I just like salt.
I put a lot of times I'll put salt, cracked pepper, and then garlic powder also.
Garlic powder would be good. I actually have a steak seasoning. I throw that on sometimes. I put that on the well, shit, you weren't even there. But I put that on the backstrap steaks I made for the party during hunting season back in February, and everyone loved those. I think that steak season pretty good. Plus, I put that actually when I made the nail guy burgers for Father's Day, which I didn't take a picture of. I really should have. I mixed in the steak seasoning in the mix,
Yeah, it's a good thing to do.
and that turned out real good.
I put Cajun seasoning on everything, but I put Cajun seasoning on burgers when I make them, and it usually makes it very good. Very, very good. I'm a firm believer in Cajun seasoning.
I I ain't got nothing wrong with Cajun
Just as a
seasoning.
product, you know.
I like Creole on my fish probably most of all. Blackened like I've been using just like store bought blackened seasonings because they sell them.
Yeah.
I like those a lot. I think blackened fish is just the superior way to do fish tacos, in my opinion.
I mean,
But
maybe just the superior way to eat fish.
could be, definitely could be.
My dad will make black and red fish, and that's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can. Like, you know, it's funny. Jackie and I went out to a fancy restaurant last night, and we were looking at the menu, and they had like red snapper.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You want to try it? Just see what theirs is like." And she was like, "I don't think I literally could have better red snapper, so I'm not ordering that."
Yeah,
And I'm not saying it's because I'm the best cook. I'm saying it's partly because I think it's partly cooking and partly like catching it yourself and eating it fresh
yeah,
is just way different.
I never order fish from restaurants just because it's not going to be as good as what I know it could be, you know?
Right. Exactly. I agree with you.
So,
I feel like I'm starting to get to that cooking level where it's like I'm not going to order things I know I can do better myself.
I mean, I still order like steaks and stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm maybe talking more about like fish that you could catch. Like I'll still order like a tuna or something. Like I'm not catching that regularly, if
Right.
at all. Um, but maybe stuff like, for instance, red snapper seen at the restaurant. That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like a Philly cheesesteak, I can make better with deer. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to figure out my way a
Yeah,
little
for
bit.
sure, for sure, for sure.
But I think that ribeye is probably as good as anyone I can get in a restaurant.
Oh man, I made a mistake the other day when I was cooking. I was making a pot roast, like a Mississippi pot roast with a pork butt.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, every other time I've done it, I do it with venison, which has no fat.
Right.
And so you add a stick of butter to the venison, and I added a stick of butter to the pork butt, and it was just too much.
Too much fat. Too
Too
much
much. I
juices.
mean, it still tasted okay, definitely edible, but very, very juicy, very fatty. So don't throw a stick of butter in with your pork butt.
Yeah, no, that stuff you don't need to add
No.
any fat, but it's a very important step to do when cooking wild game.
And
This is a
I
pork butt I
wasn't
smoked.
thinking when I did it. Like I was just going through the steps. Like I've done this recipe 100 times.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
I smoked that for 9 hours, 10 hours, like
Oof.
8 or 9 hours, maybe.
I don't have that kind of dedication. I smoke small pieces of meat. That's what I do. For like, 2 hours.
Well, the thing is, like, so I'm doing it just because I got time on my hands because I got nothing going on. But
Yeah.
I could see me doing this like during a weekend because this makes a shit ton of food.
Oh yeah.
Like this is more than we could eat, obviously, in one sitting. So like you do this and you've got smoked pork and you can do all kinds of different stuff, sandwiches, whatever. So like you make this during a weekend, and then you have this for a week or 2 weeks to eat off of, which is
How often did you change out your chips?
changing my chips.
Your smoked chips.
I don't understand your question. I'm using an offset smoker, so I have to add logs.
Oh, okay. How often
So
do you
I
add
have
logs?
a
Sorry, my smoker I use wood chips, not logs.
is it what kind of smoker is it? Electric
It's
smoker?
just a little electric one.
Yeah, I probably add a log every hour,
Interesting.
or every hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
It just depends how dialed in I am on the offset. Like I'm adjusting these two valves, right? The inflow and the outflow.
There's a deer. Sorry, go ahead. A deer just
What?
ran across my backyard.
Oh, I was like,
Oh,
did
there's
you do a
another
picture
one!
of this?
They're just running. What are they doing?
They're running from your chickens.
Well, they're like just outside my fence.
There's everybody just going out back there and sitting in a blind.
Bro, I mean, I think I've sent you a picture of it. I was just shooting my bow in the backyard, and there was one on the other side of the fence.
Oh yeah, you did send this to me.
Yeah.
I do remember that. That's funny. That's a lot. That's hard. That's dancing with the devil right there.
I know it. These stupid deer. Anyways, sorry. What we were talking about offset smoker logs per hour.
Yeah, it just depends on how dialed in I got my temperatures. Because it's
Gotcha.
not like it's an offset, so there's no like dial where I set the temperature to
Yeah.
whatever it is. I have to just keep monitoring the temperature. So sometimes it runs a little hot, sometimes it runs a little cool. So
How how consistent do you think you're able to keep it?
uh I think
Like within X amount of degrees.
oh um once it like cools down the temperature, because two things. One is once you add a log, your temperature is going to spike up until that
Yeah.
temperature settles down again. So, like, if I'm aiming for 250, I'm probably within like 5 or 6 degrees of 250 once it's dialed in. The biggest problem is if I add a log, my temperatures are going to spike like crazy and then slowly come down to 250 and then they'll
Uh-huh.
settle. And then if I go too long without adding a log, my temperatures will shoot down pretty low, like 225, 220, and then I add a log, and then again my temperatures will spike. So there's a lot of like spikes in between adding logs,
Mm-hmm.
but while a log's burning, it runs like a dream pretty much. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely gotten better as I've smoked more. Like the first time I did it, I was like adding logs either too few or I was going too long or either too short.
Mm-hmm.
Between adding logs, so there's a lot of temperature spikes. Plus, I was opening everything every 20 fucking minutes, which
Yeah.
was stupid. But
What
surprisingly,
does
the
it look like
offset runs
now?
pretty. I know it's like doesn't change in 20 minutes, you dumbass. Stop opening it.
Bro, that's what I love about my the meter. I've talked about this 100 times with that wireless meter that I've got. I know what temperature it's at, and it's gonna tell me when it is exactly medium rare, you know, and I don't have to like look in there and hit it with a thermometer every 20 minutes when it's close, you know.
Well, you know what's funny is I was using wireless monitors and I was still opening it every 20 minutes to because I had two. So I
What
had
are
two
these
running.
deer doing?
I had one in the pork butt when I did this pork butt, for instance, and then I had another like that I put in like a little makeshift stand I made out of tinfoil, monitoring my temperatures in the offset smoker because the little dial on there is fucking broken because it's been outside for so long.
Yeah.
So that was monitoring my smoker temp, and then the other probe was monitoring my internal temperature on the meat.
Hmm.
So that's how I knew what if I was at 250 or 252 or whatever. That's how I knew what my offset temperature was, and then my internal temperatures. I'm aiming for a certain temperature, and then I'll wrap it, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm aiming for another temperature to pull it at. So I'm just monitoring those temperatures consistently. I want to get new monitors just because the ones I have are kind of shitty and the range is not very far. Like I had to be in the living room watching them, which was kind of annoying when it was like 4 a.m. and I couldn't like turn the TV up very loud or anything. I would
Yeah.
have rather just been on my computer. But anyway,
Yeah, that's the range is not nearly as far as I thought it would be on the meter that I've got. But like I just sit out on the porch and watch YouTube while it's smoking, and I don't smoke for 9 hours. So
yeah. No, I mean I think offset smoker is probably like the best smoker you could. I mean that's why all those restaurants have big ass offset smokers outside.
mm-hmm.
But I would like to try something like a Traeger where there's using pellets, just because I can put it in there, set my temperature, and go to bed and wake up and then do it. Like an offset smoker thing is, I'll do that once in a while. But if I had a Traeger or some kind of electric smoker and I could just set it and forget it, I would be smoking like every other weekend. I feel like,
Yeah.
which like if you talk to traditionalists, they'd be like, I wouldn't use a Traeger to smoke a brisket ever, like offset or I'll die. And it's like, yeah, I agree. It's much better. There's a reason restaurants use offsets. But if the decision is between doing a brisket and not doing it at all, like, wouldn't you
Rather
get the
do
Traeger?
it. Yeah.
Right. Like, I'd rather have smoked brisket to eat than not have it because I'm too lazy to do the offset that weekend. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
For
know.
sure.
The
For
Traegers
sure.
are expensive as shit. So,
Yeah. Things are just expensive. Everything
I
I
don't know.
want's
Everything's
expensive.
same. Everything I want's expensive,
What's up with that?
including fucking Corpus, man. It's getting crazy out here.
Yeah.
Dad showed me an article today that came out on the moon, and it said this Memorial Day weekend, this past one, was the record number of visitors crossing the bridge.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 1.2 million or something.
Man, do you remember back in the day when the bridge was like a single lane each way?
Yes, dude. I mean, I was pretty young, but I remember that.
Those were
And it
crazy
was like
times.
ocean level. Like it was like not that high up off the lagoon of.
Crazy times, dude. The lines were massive. Yeah. I mean they still get pretty big, but
I mean, now it's like every weekend now is like stop and go traffic.
that's awful.
It used to be, just spring break, Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. Now it's like,
I want
I
to
can't complain
move
too much because we're making a shit ton of money off these people. But
I want to move to the next Padre Island.
me too. But I don't know where that is. Honestly,
I have some ideas.
it's got to be in Texas.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't want
for
to leave
sure.
Texas.
For sure.
Maybe we go to South Padre. Something they actually
No,
said
no,
in
no.
that article that was surprising to me was that South Padre and Galveston had fewer visitors than Corpus combined.
Why? That's
I think it's because you
crazy.
can get on 35 and 37 and just straight shot all the way to Corpus.
It's just a
Like you don't
lot
even have to
closer.
think.
But I mean, Galveston is so much closer to Houston, you know?
Well, they also said the majority of people were coming from Austin and San Antonio,
Hmm.
which are just bigger now. There's just a fact that both San Antonio and Austin have grown significantly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're from those places, you literally just hop on 35 or 37 and you just don't even have to think. You just drive straight here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like South Padre, like 200,000 and Galveston was like 300,000. And then we were like 1.2 million or something crazy.
Whoa. So, I mean, like a huge difference.
Yeah, like both of them
Over
combined were less than
double.
us.
That's insane.
Right. Which is making me think like, bro, maybe South Padre down towards
Because,
Port Mansfield or
like,
something.
South Padre is set up for
Like a party
tourists.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. It's set up as a party spot. That's what it's known for. Like, my whole
That's
life.
not like a year round kind of thing though, Like that's a
Right.
spring break, 4th of July. Like, yeah, it gets really busy during those times. But for Memorial Day weekend, for us to be more than like 3 times as busy, like that's pretty nuts.
That's insane.
I mean, I'm definitely going to be investing money here because I think this is a crazy opportunity. But it's also a little sad to know like that it's come to an end of an era.
I think it's past gone now.
It seems like it. But I'll take these people's money and buy a giant ranch in Texas somewhere.
Yeah,
Shit.
dude.
Where I'm gonna
Somewhere
live
little
is up. Yeah.
the next Padre Island.
I just gotta get a job. They have to need a doctor wherever this place is.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's further
need
south.
doctors everywhere. Wait, what?
I think the next Padre is we need to be looking south.
Maybe, maybe south, maybe north.
I don't know. If South Padre and Galveston keep sucking ass like this, like maybe north is definitely. I know South Padre is south of us. I'm just saying, like I figured Galveston would always be because it's Galveston. It's got to be busier, but nope.
Yeah, if you maybe just look kind of somewhere in between those places.
Talking about Seabrook.
Places like that. There's some
I wouldn't hate
nice
that.
little places around there.
Definitely would not be opposed to that.
Well, all right. We're at an hour and 3 minutes now. So
Whoa, that flew by.
I'm gonna press play on this music.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got any new music?
Yeah. This piece that I'm playing right now needs a lot of work, but I'm gonna play it anyways. So.
Oh, right on. We can test it out.
Yeah. So thank you, world, for listening.
Thank you. Isabella probably the only one listening.
Next time on Get Jake and Gavin Say Nothing. Wrong show again.
God damn it.
You know what's awkward is it's still going and I stopped the music. So this is going to be the last thing that they hear.